They are locked at 1-1, as well as this interesting matchup between Harbour and the Chapelton Maroons. The Chapelton Maroons struggling in the Premier League, but all to play for here in the Lynk Club. Harbour in the playoff spots and a prime team so far, and yeah, they will do battle. Let's hear what the teams have to say. Well, before that, let's have a look at the bracket there, as we see the winner of this game will play the winner of Portmore Malines in the semi-finals, and Cavalier Mount Pleasant, the winner of that, who we'll see later this evening, they will challenge either Tivoli Gardens or Dumble Holding on the other side of the bracket. Quarter-final action here in the Lynk Cup. Well, let's go to the interviews and let's hear what both teams have to say. First, the Chapelton Maroons and their assistant coach, Nigel Stewart.
Coach Stewart, quick question for you. Didn't see the Brazilians inside. Just want to know if they're still in charge of the project here, Coach De Oliveira.
Yeah, they have some emergencies, so they'll be here.
Okay. With the confirmation of your team's relegation from the Premier League, was it difficult to motivate them for this one, or did they use it, though, as a motivation to come into it?
Well, they use it to motivate and to come into it. I mean, as I say, we are relegated out of the league. You know, we have something to play for, so today they are coming here to put up a fight. I
mean, your team's performance in the Lynk Cup is a contrast to what they do in the Premier League. What's happening there?
And it is strange. It is strange. It's really strange. You know, we really put up a fight in the Lynk Cup and then come on to the league. You know, we are not that tall, but I hope today we can put up a tall performance.
Well, I hope so. But in terms of your issues this season, there have been many. Defensively, you have struggled. Was it a temptation to come into this one with like 3 centre-backs owing to the delicate nature of this tie?
Well, it tempted, but you know, we are coming back with a back four, and we hope today we can keep a clean sheet and we can get a victory today.
In terms of Harbour, this would be your third meeting with them. Despite your struggles, you've done well against them. So based on the first leg, you must feel like you have a good chance here. Will you go at them in this one, or will you sort of be conservative and go into penalties?
Well, anything is possible, you know, when the game starts and the dice can roll, and whatever comes up, we'd have to deal with it.
Yeah, they have done well in the Lynk Cup against Harbour, and this man has had a lot to do with it. Evan Taylor, 34 years of age, has played in the national team for some 11 appearances and has been around a long time in the Premier League, since 2008, where he started at Reno FC and now here at the Chapelton Maroons. He has scored a blinder so far this season, albeit in the Premier League, and he had an assist in the first leg in that 1-1 draw, and he is a big deal for this Chapelton Maroons team if they are to progress. He was the man of the match as well in that first leg, Evan Taylor. He'll be coming up against Harbour, and let's hear what their head coach had to say, Ludlow Bernard, who was with Dwight Jeremiah.
Coach Bernard, after the chaos that unfolded in your team's last outing in the Premier League, no such drama expected here today, but I'm pretty sure you'd want to bring over the fight, the determination and the drive they showed in that last outing.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes was really a very good indicator of the courage that we really have to try and, you know, resuscitate a game. We have to do the same thing today. The only difference is that we have 90 minutes plus to do it, you know. I think in the first game we probably think we could have done better, but we're grateful for the result. But this is a do or die game, so we have to be more proactive in terms of what we do in order to enable us to get the results.
You talk about do or die, yeah, for sure. The winner of this one goes on to the semi-finals, so the result is paramount to you. But I'm pretty sure you'd want to see a more dominant performance from your team in terms of ball possession and the cohesiveness from back to front.
Yes, ball possession is important. I think the opponents are very good at that as well. I think probably the point that we need to emphasize is how we convert in front of the goal, because we have traditionally been creating opportunities, not only in this competition but in other games, you know. So the game is going to be determined by our effectiveness in front of the goal today, and we hope that we can really get it right.
Yeah, the midfield maestro, Christo J. Daly, just 20 years of age, fresh back in Jamaica from his stint at FC Kopo in Slovenia. where he was applying his trade for a while. He'll play in the attacking midfield role, which is probably his best with his creativity, and he was the best player for Harbourview in the first leg as well. Krista J. Daly, 3 goals in the league yet to get off the mark in the Lynk Cup, but his vision and ingenuity within the middle of the field, it will certainly be useful, to say the least, for Harbourview. We go to a break, and when we come back, we continue our build-up in quarter-final action of the Lynk Cup. Welcome back to the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex in Arnett Gardens. Lynk Cup action, and we're here for the quarter-final second leg between the Chapelton Maroons and Harbourview, and they are locked at 1 apiece after the first leg. It was, a top contest, and Osani Ricketts for Chapelton Maroons in the 21st minute in that game, and then Sean Daly just 4 minutes later. This was Osani Ricketts putting it away from close range, the centre-back, and that was from an Evan Taylor delivery from the dead ball, lovely to the back post, and Osani Ricketts was there on hand. Not the best defending from Harbourview, and after 21 minutes, the Chapelton Maroons, who hadn't scored against Harbourview in the league in 2 occasions, finally got off the mark and onto the score sheet. It didn't last long, just 4 minutes. Javier Lynch, the JC schoolboy, dribbling across the area, passed it on to Sean Daly, who let fly with the left foot into the far corner, and after 25 it was 1-1. The Stars from the East with the equaliser, and good strike that was from Sean Daly, his first in the Lynk Cup this season, and it was good with the left foot. 1-1. So that brings us here And we're just about ready for walk out. The Chapelton Maroons will be in their usual brown kits, and that is what they're playing for. Eventually, the trophy, the Lynk Cup. Of course, this competition starting at a 32-round stage, and 8 teams getting a bye. The first 6 from the Premier League last season, and the 2 promoted teams from Tier 2 last season, which were the Chapelton Maroons and Falkland. They got byes in the first round. So both the Maroons and Harbour View actually starting at the round of 16. I'm here with Dwight Jeremiah. Dwight, you would know some of these players pretty well, and the Chapelton Maroons, well, they haven't found a form in the Premier League, but certainly their start to the Lynk Cup has been excellent. Well,
it's always a mystery for coaches. You just don't know what goes on when players get into different leagues. I mean, same players, but you get them reacting differently. But for them now, you reckon the start of the Lynk Cup came at a point when they were really rooted at the bottom of the table. There might have been lost hope, despite mathematically they could have gone through, avoid relegation. So maybe it's just the players' mindset just saying, you know what, maybe we're out of it, which they are now, and just focus on this chance to win something. And so often we see that the underdogs, the Cinderella teams, go on and win the knockouts all over the world as well. So maybe they're on a part here.
As I said, the possibility for survival in the Premier League called for the Chapelton Maroons, but the Harbour View team, they are in a playoff spot. The first leg they did made there was quite a bit of rotation due to the fact that obviously they had big matches in the Premier League coming up. But yeah, I expect them to feel a much stronger team today, and so it might be even more difficult for the Maroons, who would have fielded their strongest team last time out.
Yeah, I think they have had one change as the Maroons. David Reid, he's out and coming in, and you'll go through that a little bit later on. But they've made a change. Harbour View apparently looking like they've gone with 2 or 3 changes, which will confirm when the team lineups come up.
Well, there we see O'Shane Staple as well. He is one of those changes back into the starting lineup, the exciting right back from Harbour View. And Harbour View, who did the double against the Chapelton Maroons in the league, 1-0 and 2-0 respectively. They kept the Maroons to a blank. Well, that all changed in the Lynk Cup with, as we said, Osani Ricketts getting off the mark for the Maroons, and all to play for here for the team from Clarendon.
Well, really, Chris, in the league, I think this is the 3rd time I think they're yet to play the second leg in the league. They lost 1-0 at the Edward Siaga ground to Harbour View, and it's 1-1 in the first leg of this one. So despite the struggles for Maroon in the Premier League, Harbour View seems to be struggling to really dispatch them.
Yeah, it hasn't been resounding victories, yes. But at the end of it in the league, they denied the Maroons a goal, which was excellent. There are the 4 officials as well. It will be Okita Nicholson, the man with the whistle, and yeah, he will be assisted by Keneal Wright, Andre Smith, and Carvel Banton, the 4th official. Romain Brackenridge with the captain's armband today for Harbour View, with the absence of Ryan Wellington, who is actually on the bench, and Evan Taylor, a player to watch, is there as well, the 34-year-old, and one of the best midfielders we've seen and passers we have seen in the Premier League for some time.
And still doing this business here. He's the man who scored from his own half in this Premier League so far. So yeah, still have it. They say you get older, you probably can't move about the place, but your technique doesn't go.
Yeah, that was at the Ashenine Stadium at Jamaica College. A brilliant goal against Cavalier in the Premier League. And this is how the Chapelton Maroons will line up. Campbell in goal, Ricketts, the man who scored in the first leg, Howell, Taja Brown, Shane Watson, Evan Taylor, who we've spoken so much about, Rashawn Rich, Jaleel Evans, the young St. Lucian, comes into the starting lineup. Yeah. Mark Lewis, who you know very well, Malik Stevens, and Aaron Elliott. They'll be with a 4-3-3. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Mark Lewis, he's looking for his second goal in the Lynk Cup. He did score when they defeated Humberland on penalty. So I'm expecting things from him. Hopefully he plays through the middle though.
Yeah. Harbour View, this is how they'll line up. They'll play with a 4-3-3 as well. Bennett, the man between the sticks. Talbot, Shane Staple back into the starting lineup. Brackenridge wears the captain's armband. Odalyn Harding, Joshua Anglin wearing the number 3 instead of his regular number 8. He comes back into the starting lineup, the talented midfielder. Shamari Dyer, Krista J. Daly, the midfield maestro. He will play in the attacking midfield role. I like to see him there. Sean Daly, the previous scorer, Timar Lewis, and that completes their lineup. 4-3-3 is what
looking like they've come in with 3 changes, it seems, with this one. Staple, he's back into this one. Timar Lewis also gets the start in. So yeah, definitely going for the win here, Harbour View. They're strengthening here, and they see that the 1-1 scoreline will require some more quality on the part.
Which is why at some point some asked as to whether, you know, 2 legs was the right thing to do, because the expectation that the first leg teams would tend to want to bench a lot of their main string. But yeah, there's 2 ways to look at it. Of course, it gives other players an opportunity as well, more football as well at the highest level, which is actually one of the things that a lot of the coaches have been, you know, excited about.
I'm as well, just like the coaches, happy to see more football being played, and it gives a lot of other players, like you say with the Lynk Cup, you had the tier 2 teams having an opportunity to play a national competition with the teams at the highest level. So that's always good for them to test themselves and to know what's the gap that they have to fill to get to the Premier League.
Yeah, we're getting ready for kickoff. Okita Nicholson, the man with the whistle. Dwight, you mentioned there those tier 2 teams, and there were 10 of them that were in the Lynk Cup. I mean, obviously if you exclude the 2 that were promoted, who are now Premiership teams, the Chapelton Maroons and Falkland, but only 2 making it through to the round of 16, Falmouth and Treasure Beach it was.
Yeah, and Harbour View, they dispatched Falmouth by 4 goals to 0 in that first round, that round of 16.
Whistle on the play as we're off. Handball. Here at Elliott. Making contact with the hand. Harbour View in there. Blue kits with yellow trim.
Well, certainly, as Coach Bernard said, the last time they were out, Harbour View, in the Premier League, there was chaos with colours. There's no chance of a clash of colour here. But he certainly said he wanted them to bring the fight and the determination they showed when they managed to get a drawn result with just 10 players.
They're coming forward now. Lovely pass by Lynch. Inside the area, Krista J. Daly, and he puts it wide. Oh, the flag was up. It wouldn't have counted.
Well, his blushes were speared here. I'm not sure he saw he was offside. He was under pressure, so give the defender credit for tracking back. But on his favoured left foot, you expect him to bury that one. And he'll want to get on the score sheet, because he had a case on the weekend where a perfect legitimate goal was chalked off for a handball, when replay showed that it never hit the arm. So yeah, he probably has a point to prove here. And playing through the middle is, as you rightfully say, you like seeing him there as his coach, former coach. That's his best position, you know. Yeah. So we expect him to really be involved in that position.
Krista Daly on loan from Holland United, and yeah, season-long loan, and yeah, he's certainly added a lot of creativity since coming into the starting lineup for Harbour View. Did take a while to start a game based on his fitness, and he was suffering from a slight niggle as well, Dwight, as you would know so well.
Yeah, came in back into the league in January with a groin injury, coming back from Copa, so needed a little bit of rehabilitation. Then he picked up an ankle injury here at playing a Premier League game. So yeah, he has been punctuated a little bit with injuries, but he's back up to full fitness now, and up against his former teammates in Malik Stevens and Mark Lewis, who are both players coming in from Holland to the Premier League.
The parish of Trelawney well represented in these 2 teams, and on commentary. There is Nigel Stewart, the assistant coach of the Chapelton Maroons. Yeah. Clovis de Oliveira, not here at the moment, as well as a professor. Yeah,
said he had an emergency, so they're not here. And words are, I've heard off here, that he took charge of training session yesterday, Nigel. So, yeah, the Brazilian, they've been away as far back as yesterday, as you put it.
Yeah. All to play for in the Lynk Cup. Ludlow Bernard, well celebrated, has achieved so much at both the schoolboy level and winning the Premier League last season with the Harbour View team. And what I think it would be if he could lift the Lynk Cup as well.
Yeah, I heard you talking to him last in the first leg, where he spoke about Harbour View being so successful in knockouts in Jamaica, 5-time champions. He said it was before his time, so maybe he'll want to put that on his CV as well.
Yeah, that time the competition had different names, but 5-time champions Harbourview, the most of any club in the island. And yeah.
So we're just looking to see if we can discern a pattern here from both these two teams as to who's going to be the aggressor. But like I said, from the first leg, I suspect Chapelton will come in here with a lot of confidence. They did score first, despite the lead not lasting very long. But they would have seen enough in that game to feel like there's a real chance to win this one in open play before it gets to penalty, which would have to go through extra time, 15-minute stanza before you can get to penalties.
Yeah, Harbourview with it. Extra time will be a part of this stage if needed, and then the dreaded penalty shootout as well if needed. 15 minutes either way in extra time. And yeah, as we know, both teams locked at 1 apiece after the first leg. Osani Ricketts after 21 and Sean Daly after 25.
So both these two teams looking to match each other in terms of the system they're playing. It's going to be a battle inside of the middle of the park. I guess the more technical players will prevail if they can match the desire of the opponent, because we know that hard work can beat talent every day if talent does not work hard.
Not a bad start by Chapelton. They spread it wide to Elliott. Rich overlapping. Elliott decides to switch the play, but that's going to go out of play and a goal kick.
Yeah, and interestingly, Elliott trying to find this play on the far side, but when we saw in the picture there, Mark Lewis was running through the middle, which is where you'd want to see him play a lot. Whether or not Nigel here in charge decides to go with that, most of the time we see him on the Clovis de Oliveira. He has played down the right side.
Well, he's playing as the middle of the top three today, so I think,
so that's
that
what
works best for him,
yes,
for sure. And Elliott has been asked to play wide. I don't think Elliott is necessarily a natural winger. I think if Elliott is not playing as a centre forward, I would have played him. Yeah, I would have played him in the middle three.
Yeah.
Where he has played for Cavalier. In fact, he's even played as a defensive midfielder for Cavalier at times. But he is a versatile player. He can play that box-to-box role, which is probably where I would have played him. Yeah, doesn't have natural pace similar to Mark Lewis. So yeah, I don't think they do well as wingers. But anyhow, here's a man with some pace, looking to get it into the middle of the box for Lewis, and it's broken up.
Yeah, I think in this situation here, we can say in this opening 7 minutes that Chapelton, they have looked the more purposeful of the two teams.
What about that gear? Anthony Bennett there.
I heard you talking about it like a fire lit around him. A little bit of the maroon in it.
Maroon and gold.
Yeah.
For Harbourview, It's almost matching up with the Chapelton Maroons.
Yeah, you can see it there, yeah.
First corner for the Maroons. Rich with it. Yeah. Can't beat the near post. That was well marked by Harding. Chance for the Maroons to rebuild in the first 7 minutes.
Well, there's a lot riding on this game, as you said earlier, Chris. It's a spot in the semi-finals in this Lynk Cup, and so often we see these type of games and a bit cagey at times, and because a lot depends on it. But would hope for these two teams, they really go at it.
Yeah, Harbourview coming off a 1-1 draw in the Premier League against Malines on Sunday.
Mind you, with 10 players as well.
Yeah.
I think Rose got the red card in that game.
Yeah, and the man who got the goal in that game isn't in the squad today, Colorado Murray.
Yeah, I understand there's not an injury that he's carrying, maybe just rest up. You'd feel like Coach Bernard would have him on the bench in the event he needs to call upon him, but he's quite confident with what he has in the squad here, and enough match winners he feels is in the squad today.
Yeah, Ludlow Bernard, definitely at the schoolboy level, the king of knockout competitions, won 2 with Woolmer's boys, 2012-2013, the Walker Cup. Well, we'll get back to that. Here's his team coming forward. Lynch into the area, looking for Daly. And the strike isn't clean. Looking to go for the volley there, Christopher Daly on his favoured left foot. But came off the bottom of the foot and hard into the ground. And the Maroons able to come away.
Yeah, not a perfect strike with the lace there. Watched it drop over his shoulder, but not the easiest of techniques. Just have to keep his eyes on it. I just took it off a little bit.
Warning signs though, because he had way too much space in the area. You can't give a man of that quality. Here's a ball over the top. This is well defended by Ojani Talbot.
Yeah, and Mark Lewis, they are appealing for a handball. Nothing doing there, says referee Nicholson.
Yeah. Romain Brackenridge able to come out. But, yeah. As I said, a draw for Harbourview in the Premier League. And as I said, sitting in 4th position with 40 points. And pretty safe in terms of getting into those playoff spots. So, yeah, they've scored already some 33 goals in the Premier League, and as you mentioned, 4 against Falmouth in the round of 16.
Yeah, they had 4 goals there. One was an own goal for Falmouth, Tajay Cooper, who had the defender from William Nib. He had he had an own goal in that game as well. But Harbourview, yeah, they did get 4 goals in that game. The goal scorers in that one, in that 4-0 win, was Brackenridge, Mullins, Wall, and the own goals. So those were the players that got the goals for them then.
Sackley and Wall, who we did see came off the bench in the first leg, and he's actually not in the squad for today's game.
No.
Sackley and Wall, and Kimar Mullins, who is sitting on the bench as well, he came on in the first leg. Probably will see him later. Anyhow, here's Harbourview looking to get through Timar Lewis, a 6-goal man in the Premier League so far this season, albeit 3 of them coming in one game, a hat-trick.
When you take them anyhow, you get them, and a hat-trick is always celebrated.
Yeah, we've seen so many this season compared to last season where we had none, and the season before where we only had one, which was Horatio Morgan from Tivoli Gardens.
Well, I'm sure the fans, they welcome that. I was on hand to see Stewart scoring a hat-trick at Draxall for Mount Pleasant as well.
Trevante Stewart,
Trevante Stewart, yes.
Oh, they turn it over, the Chapelton Maroons, and Harbourview take control of the middle yet again. Yeah, Trevante Stewart has been in a bit of a lull recently, though. Is he onside here, Javier Lynch? I don't think so. Yeah, the flag goes up. But, yeah, Stewart rushed up to 14, but he's been on a bit of a barren run. Can't seem to find another. And Colin Anderson is stepping away, the blonde-topped Cavalier forward. 16 now.
Yeah, not too far still, just 2. So it shows that Stewart was right there. But I think Stewart's lack of goal scoring has come at the same time, matching the form of his team, Mount Pleasant. They went into a slump in form.
But did find 5.
Yeah.
And on the weekend, so they're back in form.
Stewart wasn't a part of that.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, it was actually Dwight Merrick who found a brace in that game. The young JC winger.
And it's good that he did, because the last game at Draxall, the last home game for them in the regular round, he really came into for some sticks from the fans. Merrick, his first couple of touches weren't good and wasted some opportunities, so it would have been good for him. I guess those 2 goals would have helped him to win over the fans.
Yeah, that 5-0 massacre was against Vere United, and actually their next round in the Premier League will be against the Chapelton Maroons, Mount Pleasant. So they might be fancying another victory there, especially if the Maroons get through this encounter. Their concentration will be on the Lynk Cup,
for
because
sure.
Obviously they're
already relegated.
Yeah, relegated from the Premier League. Here comes Anglin, driving forward. Anglin into the... Oh, well, that went all wrong for Anglin, didn't it? Got an awkward
that was Sean Daly.
Sean Daly, sorry.
The scorer of the goal for Harbourview in this tie, the first leg, took that one very well.
Yeah, that touch, taking it far away and really narrowing his angle there. That touch with the right boot.
Yeah.
And then
when he scored for Harbourview in that first leg, was in that goal, but he was coming down the right side, cutting in and shooting with the left. Here he's coming down the left side.
Yeah, quite a few times you see rotation in that top 3. Here is Anglin now, who I was speaking about earlier, wearing the number 3. That's what fooled me. Number 7 he wears in Premier League. Into the air looking for Lynch. And that comes off Lynch, and it will be a goal kick.
I think, though, as we said, Chapelton, they've started brightly. But what we've seen each time Harbour View comes forward, they look like they can score. And there's a lot of gaps in this Maroons defence. And Nigel Stewart there, yeah, just looking at it and just realizing that he's dodging the bullets a couple of times here. And I did ask him if there was a thought of playing 3 at the back, 3 central defenders, just to ensure they have numbers up and possibly plug those half spaces much easier with wing backs. But so they went with the 4, so quite confident. But gaps seemingly open up for here for Harbour View. We saw the 2 dailies as well.
Too easy.
Getting too easy inside there. Also, Lynch had an opportunity or just missed just now.
Yeah, so a bit too open for the Maroons, who have conceded some 35 goals in the 44 goals, sorry, in the Premier League already. And only Falkland have conceded more with 48. Anyhow, here they are doing some attacking. Brown. Yeah, pass inside to Elliott.
I think Elliott wanted it much earlier than that. Brown wasn't giving him as early as he would have liked.
Yeah, Malik Stevens with a strike wide in the end, and that was pretty ambitious from that kind of range.
I think one of the problems with Stevens is that he does a lot of work in the middle part, lots of ball carrying, dribbling, but he needs end product. Chance created, an assist or a goal. That's where I think his game needs to come up. Had a lot of work with him early in his career at Holland as well. But that's the part of his game he still needs to improve on.
Yeah, Harbour View with the majority of the possession. But yeah, they haven't found a goal yet. 55% for them. And yeah, going forward, they certainly look the more dangerous of the 2. But it's not been a bad start by the Maroons in terms of their midfield work. And here's their big midfielder, Evan Taylor, the captain, losing possession there.
Yeah, good tracking back from Daly. Just got a toe in and just allow it to run off to Brackenridge there.
Osani Ricketts, the man who found the goal for the Chapelton Maroons. And he'll have a lot of work to do in his main role as centre-back against this talented Harbour View team, especially going forward. Lewis. Oh, good skill by Lewis. Inside the area now to Daly. Back to Lewis. And it's cleared. Here they come again. Outside the area. Well, Dyer with the shot. Now to Lynch. Well blocked.
Yeah, Daly there telling Lynch he was free. Just let him have it. But Lynch had eyes lit up there with being central. I guess as a striker, at times you say it's okay for them to be selfish, but on that occasion, yeah, just telling Daly probably didn't realize. Pretty even so far, apart from, like I said, you know, you see Harbour View looking likely having a lot more space, but Chapelton, they do go forward with purpose as well.
They're finding a space wide now. Rich looking for the 1-2 with Elliott. That was too heavy from Elliott.
Maybe that's the one that Elliott could have struck on goal as well. Had time as well.
Elliott should have taken a touch there.
Yeah.
And yeah, he probably would have realized that the goal would have opened up for him. Looked to play the 1-2, but it was way too heavy.
And he was well central as well. A lot of the goal to him at. So it's quite surprising that in that position. And he has played at centre forward for this Maroons team as well. So it's not like he doesn't have the know-how in front of goal. Did score a brace for them as well, Elliott.
There's only 2
in the Premier League, yeah, only 2.
Coming off the bench on that occasion, and since then he's earned a starting place but hasn't managed to score since. And you know, the Chapelton Maroons, when they do build lots of space wide, but they haven't been able to get it into their central striker in Mark Lewis so far. I can't remember him having a touch yet.
No, not
at all. Already 18 minutes in.
And we have to keep a close eye on him as well, because when he plays central, I see him bemoaning there to Stuart, and that's this problem. Even at schoolboy level, he has to stay in the game because he wants it. He wants to get touches off it, and you've always tell him, you know, it's not a case where you get a lot of it, but when you do, you're gonna have to make it count. But you have to stay in the game.
I don't know a striker who doesn't want touches, so he's being normal.
Yeah, but he has to stay in the game.
Yeah. Anyhow, Anglin is certainly in the game, driving down the right-hand side into the area. Nice pass, a little bit behind Lewis though, and the play is broken up.
I think Daly needed, that's Krista J, needed to give Lewis a shout, because had Lewis played a dummy, it would have run straight into his path. So communication there not at its best for Harbourview in the final third. Maybe just need a little bit more patience and link up play in that final third. So I don't think Coach Bernard will be very pleased in terms of what they do when they get into the final.
Here is Harbourview with Lewis again, with his weaker right foot into the area, and it's broken up. Good pace down the right-hand side by Timar Lewis, coming into the starting lineup. He's one of their main starters. And yeah, creating some trouble already. Nice pass now inside the area. Staple. Harding giving the option, but Sean Daly decides to go back across to Staple, who can strike it from a distance. And well saved on that occasion. Now the rebound to Lewis, who is looking for Lynch, but the pass isn't accurate. And a strong tackle coming in from O'Shane Staple there. And the Maroons will be bailed out. We're in the number 9 today. Unusual to see him in that number, O'Shane Staple.
Well, you know, they say the modern players, they really, as we see Staple here with the strike, a strike like a number 9, yes.
Usually wears 29, O'Shane Staple.
They, as they say, the modern players, they just rip up the form book when it comes on to numbering and who plays where.
Already has a couple of goals in the Premier League this season. Was the highest scoring right back last year in the Premier League with 5 goals, and he had 2 assists, and 2 of them thunderbolts from about 30 yards out.
Really had a good season last year, which culminated in him getting a call up to the national setup.
Rightfully so as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. Really
energetic going forward. Yeah, loves to overlap. Then got an awkward injury, a shoulder injury. I think he had a shoulder dislocation. And he was a bit timid when coming back. I myself have suffered from a dislocated shoulder, and I can understand that you don't really want to put it on the line, so to speak. So it took him a while to get back his confidence.
But generally, he has a good game playing at right back. I think just one time I've seen him really having a tough day, and that was against Cephas.
Yeah, there he is again, bolting down. He's fit in O'Shane Staple, and he tracks back well. I think Harbourview is certainly a better team at both ends of the pitch when he's there.
Yeah, certainly, I agree.
Yeah, maybe in surprise that he has continued right throughout in the... Well, he has been in the national setup still, but I think he should remain. I think he offers a lot, does O'Shane Staple, and especially in a modern game now where attacking fullbacks are a must.
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must. You want your fullbacks to spend a lot of time in the opposing half as well.
Yeah, and he's pretty good defensively as well, you know, Staple, and delivers good telling deliveries there. You see him tackling again, telling deliveries from the wide areas, and as we said, he has that shot on him as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the wing backs, they'll always provide surprise attacks, and he's arguably the best in the league at right back.
Here's Lewis, who has switched flanks now with Sean Daly. Harbourview looking to build again. 5-time champions of the competition, hasn't been played since 2014, so this is the first since then. And it's had quite a few names as the years have gone by.
Just have to find a way to keep this competition going. I think it's really a good competition, and the way it was run in the past is that parish champions were the ones also included in it. I mean, I myself at Holland had represented Trelawney 3 times as a knockout in an all-island knockout.
Well, Staple down the right, and it goes out for a corner. Yeah, I certainly agree with you that it gives other teams an opportunity, and it gives you a a really good assessment as to where you are when you're out of the Premier League, the lower league teams, where you're at.
It's almost like it provides a gap audit for you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've seen this season that obviously the Premier League teams are far ahead at the moment because some big wins coming in the round of 16 and in the round of 32 as well for the Premier League teams. But yeah, as you said, more games like that, and even from the tier 2 level, you're able to assess and see where you need to get to.
Yeah. I don't know if because there wasn't a lot of football being played around the country why they probably didn't start it at the lower level, but as I said back then, it was parish champions, and you have a lot of non-Premier League teams or tier 2 teams getting in there, major league teams getting in the first round.
Yeah, outside the area, pressure in the 18-yard area. Lewis, that's going to be short, you know, and they turn it over again, Harbour View.
Yeah, I think they need more of that in terms of link-up play, but yeah, just firmer with the passes.
Whistle on the play. Free kick to the Maroons.
Just need to have more numbers around the box when they go forward, Harbour View, and just to be able to be a little bit more patient and look for that opening. What we find from the Maroons is that they get very deep, which is why O'Shane Staple had the opportunity to shoot from the top there. So they drop off deep and try to smother the space for Harbour View to have players running behind, and that will give an opportunity to shoot from the top, but also if you have those intricate one-touch passes to really break your way through, but it requires numbers on those occasions.
Yeah. Ludlow Bernard, a great tactician when it comes to knockout competitions, as we said earlier, so his brain will be buzzing. Certainly knows how to find a way to win these kind of competitions. Won twice the Champions Cup at the schoolboy level with Kingston College, and won the Walker Cup twice with Woolmer's boys. So yeah, Woolmer's at that time really, you know, were, well, I wouldn't say struggling in the Manning Cup, but weren't delivering in the way that would have been expected, and he got the job done in the knockout competition. So it's been that kind of format that he has enjoyed over the years, albeit the schoolboy level. Yeah,
you certainly want to add that at Harbour View to his CV for sure.
Yeah.
So Lewis on our near side here.
Apart from 5 wins for Harbour View, there's been Reno with 3 and Portmore United with 3 as well. So yeah, ball into the area. Now looking for Lynch, finds Lynch, his touch is good to Daly. Kendi just can't get it right. Sean Daly, similar position to where he scored in the first leg. Let's fly, and it's over the top and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, the minute Sean picked that up, he had only one eye, and that was for goal. Really just looking to go at goal. Once he got the return here, you could see him just head down, looking to strike.
Scored with the left foot in the first leg. This one was with the right, and a lot of power behind that shot, but never troubling the goal of Jonathan Campbell.
Yeah, and with all the attacking thrust here from Harbour View coming forward, Campbell just the shot from Staple that gave him some work.
Yeah, they turn it over again. Joshua Anglin out to Lewis on his favoured left foot. Lewis, and that was horrible. Should have been aiming for the far post, Timar Lewis, and there's been a couple of occasions on that side of the field where we've seen
Sean Daly as well.
Yeah, Daly as well. It badly skewed, so we just wonder if the bounce is true on that side, because you could see Lewis keeping his eye on it, but it went totally wrong there.
Yeah, would have to wrap his foot around that one. Didn't really get there, so yeah, maybe the bounce. Just as he was about to strike it, probably just bubble. Yeah, not seeing the replay on that one, but yeah. But yeah, the shots coming in from that side. But again, Maroons, apart from the space, looking to play out from the back as well. Not an issue for them where they keep turning it over.
That was a long pass drilled from Evan Taylor, and Evans, the youngster, really struggling to control it. I mean, he did take it, but he almost looked like he was afraid to be injured. This was a chance now. Just look at this Dwight Jeremiah. Right when he's about to shoot, is there a bad bounce?
No,
just
I think
slight.
Yeah, just slight. But I think it's a technique that was off as well.
Didn't get his
went
foot
under
around
it as well, rather than around it.
Yeah,
totally
agree with you. Striking of the ball was in the wrong position. Anyhow, there's Lewis again inside to Daly. Daly, we haven't seen enough of him in the midfield today. That's a lovely pass now out wide to Staple. Staple can keep it in, can he? Just about.
Yeah, but nobody on the back post there for Harbourview. Hardin went halfway up, didn't really make the run. More concerned about Elliott, which is on the ball now.
Yeah, Elliott. It was a disappointing pass by Staple. Now he has to get back, and so is that pass by Elliott. Well. Aaron Elliott muffing it badly. And an opportunity lost. Again, we can't see that ball getting into the central areas for the Maroons. Now Timar Lewis, that's a much better cross towards the back post. Daly setting it for Anglin. And it's blocked in and around the penalty spot. Good defending on those occasions by the Maroons.
It's pretty much an open game though.
Rich hustled off of it by Shamari Dyer.
I think the Maroons
very aggressive in the midfield is Dyer. You've seen him play that centre back. When he plays defensive midfield, not very creative, but he's a hard tackler and very strong.
Well, I always say for your central midfielders, defensive midfielders, it's
Rich. Well, Rich was a bit lackadaisical with that clearance from the back, and yeah, deflected into the arms of Jonathan Campbell. Luckily for the Maroons. Just look at this. Lynch with the strike, it was deflected, and look at this effort here from Rich. Well, that was lackadaisical if there ever was. And it nearly came off Anglin and into the goal.
Yeah, that was a lucky miss or lucky shave there for the Maroons. And apart from Harbourview really finding space, I think it's 50-50 with Harbourview finding space and working their way into the attacking third here, along with Maroons just throwing them a lot of opportunities as well, with some poor passing out from the back or lack of urgency or decisiveness defensively.
There's an injury to Jonathan Campbell, so that's why there's a break in play. 0-0 after half an hour between the Chapelton Maroons and Harbourview. 1-1 on aggregate. Osani Ricketts in the first leg after 21 minutes, and after 25 it was Sean Daly with the left foot.
No, we've gone past that timing, so nothing yet in this one. It's not that it's cagey, because both teams, they do get into the final third with regularity. It's just that the quality when they get there has been lacking, more so for Chapelton than Harbourview, but neither has been decisive enough to worry the custodians.
Javier Lynch there getting some attention, and we just saw his mother a short while ago. She's in the stands supporting him. There she is.
Well, always good to have the support of families, and I know a lot of them who are not here is probably tuned into SportsMax supporting them, but good to have them always in the stands. I remember Krista J, he didn't want his mother to be in the stands when he was much younger, said she was too loud, but now he can deal with it.
I wonder how he feels having his former coach here watching him on commentary.
He always feels he has to put on a show. I haven't seen it yet, but he knows he has to do it before the end of the game or he's going to get a lot.
Sometimes pressure can be a hell of a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
31 minutes gone. And the Maroons, you would have to say, have kept Harbourview quiet. Harbourview, as you said, the team who have won the most in the All-Ireland knockout, and the favourites coming into this tie, but the Maroons escaping with a draw in the first leg, and so far 0-0 here. They're doing well, the team from Clarendon.
Yeah, certainly the longer it goes on, they stay in this tie, then they feel they have a chance. They did win their round of 16 game against Humberland on penalty 5-4.
Yeah, nice pass now for Elliott. Elliott has the speed and the strength. Bounces into the back of the net. Well, Aaron Elliott with the breakthrough, just as we mentioned, the Chapelton Maroons keeping Harbourview locked. Aaron Elliott, who has had a different start to the game, finds the opener. Just his third goal of the season in all competitions. And in the 33rd minute, Aaron Elliott puts the Chapelton Maroons ahead, just like they were in the first leg, taking the league. Much stronger there than Hardin, pouncing him off the ball here with the right arm, and the finish with the left boot. Bennett no chance.
Yeah, Bennett no chance. I think he gave Bennett the eye as if he was going for the far post. Bennett was rooted when he went for the near post, but it showed good strength. And you talk about lack of speed, but he did match Harding step for step there. But Harding really didn't prepare himself with that recovery run. Really didn't prepare himself for that physical challenge, and it was just too easy for Elliott to knock Harding off his balance there.
So Harbourview have to do it all over again, just like in the first leg. Here goes Lewis. This game needed a goal, and it's gotten it. All of a sudden, increasing their intensity, Harbourview.
Yeah, but we see here again the lack of cohesiveness in that final third, which they've been getting there with regularity. We did say moments before that goal that it was an open game, and Chapelton, they were doing well to get from back to front, not really doing well when they get up front. But on that occasion, Elliott made amends, and it was really a good finish by him.
Yeah, as you say, Odell Harding, who was probably slightly ahead in terms of the foot race, didn't prepare himself in terms of strength or using his arms, and so he was bounced off of it easily by Elliott. And, well, the finish just looked so simple from here, and Elliott just composed himself well, and, well, Bennett was exposed and had no answer.
Yeah, it's probably not the best thing that Harding would want to show.
Nice crossfield pass taken on the chest by Daly. This time the defending is strong from a centre-back. So the Maroons with a 2-1 lead on aggregate. And if it stays this way, they'll be into the semi-finals of the Lynk Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do approach it from here, if there's any change in their approach. Or maybe they'll just look to get another goal to cushion here. But we see them now in a half press, just dropping just below the centre circle. Mark Lewis and Elliott, all their attacking players, and Harbourview just finding it difficult to find that.
Broken up by Taylor. That to Lewis. Lewis showing good strength there. The William Day schoolboy leaves the ball behind Lewis. Still maintains possession. Then a long pass, well played out wide. There's a little bit too much on it from Taylor, and he's disappointed that he didn't execute.
Yeah, normally he finds his target, Taylor. Good range of passes in his foot there, Taylor.
Ricketts with a challenge. He thinks there should have been a foul from Lynch. Nicholson says no. Play continues. Now Rich. Chapelton looking a lot more confident.
It's trying to...
Oh no, that's...
Yeah, they were trying to keep possession for a while, just to starve Harbourview of possession, because, you know, when you're in possession, it works both ways, attack and defense. They're going to have to try and keep compact, keep their lines very shallow. They're not allowing a lot of space between the lines.
Driving forward is Tamar Lewis. Finds Harding out wide. Now to Anglin. Oh no. Oh, it does find... Yeah, Harding, I thought the pass was a little bit too central.
It was.
From Anglin.
I saw you were about to change your mind if Harding got onto the end of it. But yeah, it would have been Harding's work that would have made that pass, because it really was a bad pass. Yeah, to start with.
Not the best angle there from Joshua Anglin.
It was just too close to the defender. So too much central, as you say.
Yeah. Getting forward a lot, Joshua Anglin, in the first 37 minutes or so. Nothing fruitful yet for Harbourview. As we said, they haven't scored freely against the Maroons all season, even though it was 2-0 and 1-0 wins respectively in the league. They were made to work hard, and then the first leg was 1-1 as well.
Yeah.
So into the area. Ricketts does well. Daly, good change of pace, Daly. Outside of the left boot, but can't find the target.
Yeah, all the runs from Harbourview players were more to the goal line. No one hanging back with a late run.
Anglin looking for a pass inside the area. Not organising themselves. Well, O'Shea's Staple in an awkward position, the right back. He was in a centre forward role. Maybe that number 9 getting to him.
Lynch wasn't pleased with him.
No, he wasn't. Lynch working hard, but he's outnumbered. And it's back to Brackenridge. The funny thing about that goal as well was Brackenridge and Talbot were both caught out of position. If you think back to that goal, they were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it was Staple with, it was only Arden with a recovery run.
Anyhow, Harbourview on the attacking side of things, into the area, across the goal, and it took a deflection. It will be out for a corner.
What happened? They had pushed forward as a unit, and Maroons, they just played a direct ball up front to Elliott, and he just went on a run. You see Daly here, Sean Daly, that is, similar position from which he scored in the first leg.
Yeah, likes to cut in and let fly with the left boot. This one skewing wide with the deflection.
So the lead, the Chapelton Maroon, they're leading this second leg, lasting longer than it did in the first.
To the near post.
Well,
it's just about that point. It lasted, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah.
The 33rd minute was the goal, and yeah, we're in the 39th. Yeah, just a little bit more.
They'll take heart from it.
Here they go. Forward pass, looking for Elliott. He's offside.
Yeah.
He knew it as well.
And again, I think they've recognized this side as well, the Maroons, to try and get at Harbourview once they go on the attack. This is the side that they look to do the counter when playing in transition. It's to Harbourview's left side that they tend to play, which is where the goal came from.
Yeah, a lot to play for in this Lynk Cup. The winner wins 1.6 million. Christopher Daly trying to get Harbourview back into it with a strike, and that was a good move, the best we've seen from Christopher Daly this afternoon, onto his favoured left side, and not far wide of Jonathan Campbell's upright.
No, it didn't look that far. We'll see on the replay here whether or not he weaved his way from off the right side, just looking for that extra yard, spooned away in the end, but again not wrapping the foot around, but just working his way to get a strike on goal.
Those are the kind of moves we expect from Daly.
With regularity too, as well. You want the consistency of it.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen that in 40 minutes. Harbourview need more. They're down on aggregate by 2-1. But yeah, 1.6 million for the winners of this competition, 1.45 for the runners-up, over $1 million for third place as well,
yeah,
$1,050,000, and 800,000 for fourth place. So a lot of money being pumped in as we see Harbourview coming forward again on the edge of the area. It comes to Talbot. Talbot, not known for his goal scoring.
Yeah, by the time he was looking to strike, he was closed down.
Yeah, and the Maroons have gotten some important blocks so far, even though they have looked far apart at times. Those strikes from on top of the 18 have been well blocked. Looking to build a play down the right-hand side. Rich over the top and out for a goal kick. So yeah, a lot of money being pumped in by Lynk and the private sector generally. And apart from the prize money as well, $5,000 to each of the goal scorers. So obviously Aaron Elliott will be $5,000 better off at the moment, yeah, with his goal. So incentive for the players and even the fans as well. Each game a fan will earn $25,000 through the Lynk app. Of course, you need to download that on the phone. Do so I, Jeremiah?
Probably sitting
You're
in the
not eligible,
we're
but
sitting in the wrong place. Chris, we probably needed to be in the stands.
But yeah, you have to pay to get into the game. That's one of the criteria. And
you pay via the Lynk app.
Via the Lynk app, yeah. And you receive the money via the Lynk app as well, $25,000. But it's a lovely incentive from the company, and lots of money being used in this Lynk Cup. As we see a foul here on the edge of the 18, chance for Harbourview.
Now we see Daly coming across, but a little bit out. Maybe he's going to look to serve it up, but it was Harding who was high up the pitch.
And Taylor conceding the foul. Yeah, doesn't necessarily suit Daly.
No, so he has walked away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again with this side here, it would have to, if it's a direct strike on goal, then
angling is over it. So is Sean Daly. O'Shane Staple, this might be too close for O'Shane Staple, though. He likes them further out because he certainly lets fly with the with the instep. Does O'Shane Staple.
Still having some interest in it, though.
Yeah, I think some finesse is needed from this angle and this range.
Yeah, Sean Daly, angling and Staple. Staple looked to be the outsider.
Yeah, I think it would be Sean Daly. If it was Staple, I would like to see a touch a little to the right and then Staple running on.
It's just to open up the angle
yes,
for him. Yeah,
correct. Let's see. Here they go. Daly into the wall. It does its job. Not cleared fully yet. Now with angling. Lewis to Staple. Staple with the left foot. Not a bad delivery, but not a strong foot either, and it's out for a throw. Well done, the Maroons.
Yeah, they're really defending. If they can get to half-time leading this one, it really will be a big motivation for them to come out and really fight hard.
Here Staple will try with the left boot again towards the back post. Dangerous delivery. And Brackenridge was lurking at the back post. But again, the Maroons defense stood up strong. Acrobatic attempt here. Whistle on the play. Yeah. Well, it was a good finish by Staple, but it won't count.
Yeah, the whistle went long before that strike.
Evan Taylor fouled. Free kick the Maroons. We are approaching the end of the first half. And Harbourview still trailed by a 1-0 in the second leg. Good defending there at the back post. Shane Watson there. Yeah, that strike with a weaker foot from Shane Staple, but the whistle had already gone.
So the Maroons almost halfway there.
Work for Ludlow Bernard. Still looks pretty relaxed. As expected, still a lot of time to go. We're here in a minute to be added for stoppages.
I think what he has done too for the latter part of the second half in this first half is we've seen Daly operating a little bit wider, and that's Krista J, and Sean has come through the middle a bit more. So just a change from Ludlow there. Hasn't borne fruit yet. It's a confirmation from the fourth official. Will be just
Shamara Dyer with a long pass searching for Lynch. That method just hasn't worked so far this afternoon. Lynch outnumbered as a lone striker, and this is probably a better option, building the play through the middle. And Christopher J. Daly bounced off of it this time, and Taylor just composing himself and distributing wide. Maroons with a 1-goal advantage.
Probably just looking to manage this 1 minute to the half-time break.
Yeah, Aaron Elliott after 33 minutes. The difference maker so far. Here is Lynch. Not much help, goes wide. Daly, nice ball, back to Lynch. Lynch on the right foot. Lynch with a finish, and he can't hit the target. Well, good build-up play on that occasion. And that probably should have been buried by the youngster Javier Lynch. Scored a dozen goals in the schoolboy competition this season. And Krista J. Daly, find him, the first touch wasn't bad, but he's got to hit the target there.
Yeah, at least hit the target. Was there a deflection
as well? Yeah, there was a deflection. So there was a slight block on it.
Yeah.
And it's a corner. Last chance of the first half, you would think, for Harbourview. The delivery isn't good. And it comes back to Dyer. Well, not enough time for the free kick. So the end of the first half, and the Chapelton Maroons, thanks to a goal by Aaron Elliott after 33 minutes, lead by a 1-0. Anthony Bennett beaten between the sticks for Harbourview for the second time in this tie. And what a lead the Chapelton Maroons take into the dressing room for the break. After 45 minutes, the Chapelton Maroons on the day lead Harbourview by a 0-2, 2-1 on aggregate.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex here, home of Arnott Gardens, where we have the Lynk Cup on display and also an upset in the making as it stands at the moment. It is Harbourview up against Chapelton Maroons, and it is the Maroons who are leading this one by a goal to nil on the day, 2-1 on aggregate, as we take a look at first half action. It's the Maroons. They started brightly. Harbourview too, they were coming forward with a lot of regularity. Krista J. Daly here looking to hit on the volley, miscued here, hitting into the ground, and that was a let-off, you feel, for the Maroons. You expected better from him there on his favourite left foot. It was Harbourview here just looking to probe and press and trying to find a strike here coming from angling from deep, and that one was repelled well. He was stapled with that strike. We're in the number 9 jersey, striking it like a number 9. Here we see Sean Daly on it, and the ball played through back to Sean Daly, and the strike just blasting it wide or high off his right foot. The weaker right foot would have preferred it on his left, but he had only one high, and that was for goal there. And that one went over. Again, it was Harbourview coming forward. Lynch here looking to get a strike on. Maroons almost gifted Harbourview a lackluster defending there from the Maroons, and almost let angling in. He wouldn't have known much about it, but he would have taken it anyway. And then on the counter-attack, in transition play, Hardin really didn't show much strength there. And Elliott calmly slotting past Bennett in goal. Really weak from Hardin, and Elliott there with his first in the Lynk Cup, his third of the season in all competitions, and Bennett rooted to the spot as Elliott gave him the eyes, and that was 1-0 to the Maroons. Harbourview, they look to come forward here through the likes of Krista J. Daly, weaving and probing, just looking for that extra yard of space, and that one going wide. Miscued there from Daly, again on his favoured left foot, but just unable to hit the target. Staple with this one. Brackenridge at the back post there, trying to get a head onto it, but well defended at the back post by the Maroons. And again we see Daly on it. Lovely ball through to Lynch, and just at the last minute, that's that deflection, taking it away from a goal. And that was the last meaningful action of the first half. And we look at the statistics here. It's the Maroons with 4 shots on 4 shots, 1 on target. Harbourview 10 shots, 2 on target. 4 fouls committed by the Maroons, 5 by Harbourview. No yellow or red cards in this one. 3 offsides for Harbourview, 1 for the Maroons, 1 corner for Maroons, and 3 for Harbourview. It's even when it comes on to the possession, but at the stats at the top, the one that matters most, it's the Maroons who lead this one by a goal to nil, 2-1 an aggregate. And an upset, as we say, in the making, unless Harbourview can do something when we come back after the break. Second half action.
Lynk Cup Quarter-Final, second leg action here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex in Arnett Gardens, Kingston, Jamaica. The All-Ireland knockout competition, and it's Harbourview against the Chapelton Maroons. The Maroons lead this Harbourview team by a 1-0 after 45 minutes. It was an Aaron Elliott strike in the 33rd minute. The difference, they lead 2-1 on aggregate, the Chapelton Maroons, and are 45 minutes away from their first berth in the semi-finals of the All-Ireland knockout competition, renamed the Lynk Cup in 2023. And we actually haven't seen this competition since 2014. Harbourview, the team that has won it most, 5 times they have been champions, and they have work to do in this second half. And Dwight Jeremiah is still with me, and you can imagine the kind of team talk Ludlow Bernard would have had with his boys.
Yeah, I suspect it's really a firm one, and one where he showed that he's not pleased with what's happening out there, just not good enough in terms of what they displayed in that first half. We see Chapelton Maroon also made a substitution. They're number 10. But Harbourview also looking to respond.
Yeah, a change for Harbourview. Phelan Lawrence is in for Timar Lewis, so Ludlow Bernard wasting no time. He needs goals.
And yeah, as I said, the Chapelton Maroons, they made a change too. Evans came out, and I think replaced him with Kevin Clark.
Yeah, Jaleel Evans out, and the Chapelton Maroons driving forward with Taylor, and he's fouled by Anglin. Yeah, Evans, the young 18-year-old from St. Lucia, hasn't found a goal yet this season, and Kevin Clark is in. Usually plays on the right side as a right winger, and of course he's at school with you at William Knibb. Some 16 assists he had this season in schoolboy football in the Da Costa Cup.
Yeah, and 2 goals.
So,
yeah, a couple of familiar faces out there. Himself, yes, and Krista J and Mark Lewis and Malik Stevens have been teammates before, so I guess there's no love that it'll be shown.
Taylor into the area, finds Elliott to Lewis. Lewis on the edge of the 18, can't really bring it under his control. Clark gets his first touch. Back to Taylor. Yeah, too deep for Ricketts, who was lurking on the right-hand side of the attack, and Harbourview will have a throw.
Well, yeah, but the Maroons, they've come out of the blocks very quick in the second half. They're looking to push home their dominance in this one, looking to see if they can get that insurance goal. So they've certainly decided that the best way to defend this lead is to go on the attack and really give Harbourview something to think about. And the clock will tick away quite quickly for Harbourview, but pretty slow for the Maroons. But I can tell you, it's the same clock.
Yeah, both teams making a change each. Let's see what this 45 minutes brings.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's an upset on the cards here.
Anglin driving forward.
Yeah, looking for Daly, but that one too straight. Overcooked as well. So they've been rattled somewhat. And again, like I said, they would have come out of the team talk with Coach Bernard, eager to really please him and up their tempo and their quality in this one. But the Maroons, they came out with their own ideas as well, not looking to back off.
Anglin breaking it up in the middle of the park. They go wide to Phelan Lawrence, who gets his first touch. Skillful player Phelan Lawrence has been in and out of the Premier League side this season, was in the US for a while and wasn't available, then coming back in. Took a while to get match fit. Certainly a dangerous player from out wide. Phelan Lawrence was a very fluent scorer in schoolboy football, both at Holy Trinity and then Jamaica College.
That's what I think Coach Bernard is looking for from him.
He was a prolific scorer. In fact, one season had over 15 goals in the Manning Cup.
I think Coach Bernard would do well with just one of those at the moment.
Did score some critical goal, a couple good goals for them last season especially in that playoff period, did Phil and Lawrence.
Angling, I think, over this free kick for Harbourview, looking to make much of it.
First chance to really put something into the area. Ricketts able to clear. He's had a good game so far, Sandy Ricketts. 2 players down. Clark also down, and play continues.
It's really poor from Staple there. There's a lot of players that were in the box, a lot of his teammates in the box, looking to go at that far post, but we just needed to drill something across there just to give them something to aim at. And look, central, there were 4 players central, and he's looking to go to the far post. Not the right decision there from Staple.
Well, Ricketts is still down. Clark looked injured as well. I think it was Clark who got his head onto it, and it looked like the ball headed him instead of the other way around. And he's probably having a headache now, young Kevin Clark. But Ricketts was down. Play was allowed to continue. But yeah, disappointing delivery from O'Shane Staple, who is usually very good. I would say an 8 out of 10 man in his deliveries from the wide areas, but not on that occasion.
No. This game, it seems like he's asking for, and Harbourview needs their players to be 10 out of 10 here to get back into this one, because at the moment they're crashing out of the Lynk Cup.
Yeah, the team that has won it the most, Harbourview. And the Chapelton Maroons, they have looked a different unit in this Lynk Cup. Harbourview driving into the area, looking for Krista J. Daly, doesn't find him. A whistle from Okita Nicholson yet again, and it will be Maroons' ball.
Yeah, it's strange, and Coach Nigel Stewart just couldn't put his finger on it as to why the difference in terms of performance. But like I said, when the Lynk Cup came around, their fate was almost sealed, you feel, and maybe the players just decided, you know what, and the Premier League was gone. There was just too much work to do, but here was an opportunity to win some silverware. And
the 2 promoted teams from Tier 2 just not good enough in the Premier League so far this season. Both in the relegation positions, and that's out of play from Phil and Lawrence. Yeah, Falkland and Chapelton will be crashing out.
Yeah, it looks like that. Well, for Chapelton it's sealed.
It's sealed, and Falkland, well, they sit with just 11 points, 8 below Veer United.
So mathematically a chance, but
and with an inferior goal difference by far.
Yeah.
So I think Falkland look like they're heading out as well.
They'll have to win everything and hope Veer loses everything as well.
So not a good promotion season, if you want to call it, for Tier 2, pun intended.
No.
So yeah, some work to be done by the second level clubs in Jamaican football. Here are the Maroons looking to come forward, definitely making a statement so far in this Lynk Cup. And for a lot of the Premier League season, I thought we had this discussion as well, that a lot of the Maroons players I thought weren't necessarily playing in their best positions. So you were wondering, because Clovis de Oliveira did come in midway through the season, there was always a concern as to how well you would have known these players and known which positions to play them best, especially when you're searching for results.
And I guess maybe he would have been given some advice by those who were there with these players before. But, you know, I've heard the saying, you know, maybe not taking some of those advice, and a lot of the players, you rightly stated, Chris, played out of position.
Yeah.
I think he's even looked to play Kevin Clark at defensive midfield.
Well, Clark is playing as a wing, albeit on the left-hand side. Well, he has played both left and right wing in schoolboy football.
Yeah.
Some defending now for the Maroons. Staple. That's the kind of delivery we expect from Staple, and what a chance inside the area for Harbourview. It fell to Sean Daly, the scorer in the first leg, and he couldn't put his header on target. He should have done better, Dwight Jeremiah.
Most definitely, and that's the type of delivery, as you say, that's what we've come to expect from Staple. Picking him out, pinpoint, wow, that should have scored, not just hit the target. He had time and space. Just look at him in that frame here, not a defender in sight, and by the time they arrived, the header was gone. He should have, he didn't, the technique wasn't right, wasn't looking to head down, just looking to redirect, didn't get over it. And that's a big chance there for Harbourview missed.
That should have been a goal for Harbourview. Instead, it was a goal kick for the Chapelton Maroons. And you just wonder from a Maroons perspective, where was the defending there? There was a miscommunication there in the back. Now they're driving forward with Mark Lewis in the wide area. Not much help for him, but he wins a corner.
Yeah, just looking to cut it back there, Mark, trying to get, I think it was
Brown.
Tajay Brown that was closest there.
Yeah, Tajay Brown was making his way into the area. Not a lot of players were forward on that occasion for the Maroons. And Lewis did the next best thing in winning a corner. You did say, Dwight Jeremiah, that Mark Lewis just needed to stay in the game. And it's something he's been guilty of when he gets frustrated to get out of the games. But he's been present so far.
Yeah, pretty much have to give him credit. And that's where you get to this level. You try and grow, you try and improve.
Delivery. It's played short. Now into the area. Well, a chance for Elliott there. He had a free header towards the near post and couldn't put it on target, the goal scorer.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult than that which fell to Sean Daly for Harbourview. He was outside the near post, needed a lot of net muscle to try and direct that on goal.
They're coming forward again. Now Kevin Clark. Enjoying some possession is the Maroons. Are the Maroons, yeah. Clark. Pacey player Clark. Clark with the right foot, and that's miscued. And well wide in the end. Goal kick, Harbourview.
Yeah, miscued that one, but just looking to get inside there. As we saw that chance. Yeah, it was just inside the near post. Yeah, when looking at that one. Under pressure, yes.
When you say neck muscle there, though, there was a lot of pace on that delivery, so he didn't actually need to generate the pace, just needed to redirect. But I agree that he was under pressure.
Outside the near post, then he would have had to use that, but he was inside, so maybe could have done better. Just the pressure applied.
Yeah, from Brackenridge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a foul. Yeah, a warning there from Akita Nicholson. We haven't seen him produce the card.
No, but I think that's the last one for Taylor, because he did commit a foul earlier.
Experienced midfielder Evan Taylor, 34 years of age now, a man from the West.
And he's almost like a back five. He's sitting almost right on top of that back four, just looking to shield.
But you still want to give him the ball because he has that range of pass. That pass isn't a bad one, and Staple was looking to get it into the area, but deflected through to Campbell. And he releases early. Brown. Another whistle. The game just not able to flow.
Yeah, and I don't think Harbourview has been able to flow as well.
Yeah, the sun is out in all its glory. Seems a little bit hotter than the start of the game, even though there is that gentle breeze. But
there was a cover, cloud cover at the start.
Seems a bit hotter here than the 27 degrees we started with.
But Harbourview will feel like as long as it remains at a 0-0, then there's that chance for them right up. And that's why the Maroons will be looking to get that insurance goal. Because as long as it's at 1, then there's a chance late on.
Maroons lead 2-1 on aggregate. Ball into the area, comes off the back of Lawrence, who wasn't sure what to do. And it's out for a goal kick. If Harbourview were to find a goal, and it's all square after 90, we do go to extra time. 15 minutes, a half in extra time, and if needed, penalties. But as it stands, the Maroons with the slight advantage, and on their way to booking a place in the semi-finals of the Lynk Cup for the first time.
And that's the beauty of knockout football as well. You know, a lot of persons like it because it gives the less fancied teams a chance to really get the better of their more fancied opponents.
Dyer wins the ball in the midfield as he does so often. Now outside the area to angling, twisting and turning. Not a good pass.
There was a nothing pass. I think the pass should have come before that second twist, because I thought he was looking for the shot, but certainly should have gone out wide to Christopher J. Daly, or to make that pass to the middle where Lynch was. In the end, he just gave the ball away. Harbourview again will try and build from the back. Pretty much playing a very high line. A lot of the football being played in the Chapelton half. But I'm pretty sure Chapelton is quite okay in playing on the counter, playing in transition.
Yeah, I just wonder if they should slightly change the formation, maybe go from a Harbour View perspective, maybe 3-5-2. Maybe give Javier Lynch someone close to him, because what is happening right now is that they're not using their wide play very well. So Daly and Lawrence not getting the ball with any joy in the wide area. So then when the pass does go through the spine to Lynch, he's outnumbered. It's just Lynch with about 3 or 4 defenders around him. Maybe you want to keep the centre backs a little bit more busy, especially because they have been so frail this season, the Maroons, in terms of conceding.
Or maybe you have to get Daly, who was pushed through the middle, that's Sean Daly, a little closer to Lynch. But what you're saying is one of the weaknesses of a 4-3-3 system, if not played correctly. If the wide players don't funnel inside a lot too and allow the wing backs to come up, then the central striker become isolated.
Yeah, that's what's
and
happening.
It's really like one. And so numbers up for the defenders because it's 2 centre back against 1.
Yeah, sometimes even 3. And as I said, how have you not using the width
Taylor
very well?
sitting very deep. So, yeah, maybe Sean Daly a little bit more.
Christopher from the area, and appeals for handball. No, now on the break, Clark, and he is very pacey. Kevin Clark. Oh, Clark. He was looking to pass that with the outside of the boot, I think, to free Brown.
I think he should have gone with his run for sure, Chris. He's a pacey player. When he was at William Nibby, he's arguably the fastest boy at William Nibby. Actually got to William Nibby as a track athlete, and it's very quick, over 100 meters. So had less than that to go, and I don't know why he checked his run. Maybe the confidence of not playing a lot and going towards goal, but certainly should have gone ahead with that run. Once he looked up and didn't see the support, then just go and take it on, take the responsibility. A bit of stage fright there for Kevin Clark. I think so. When he was running, all of a sudden he stopped and then looked around as if, is all this green pasture for me? Anyhow, Harbour View attacking towards the back post, and it took a deflection. It's going to be a corner. Maybe I needed to have gone down there and mark out a track and say, here you go, that's the finish line. This is your lane. But yeah, that's a missed opportunity for them, and certainly that's what I was talking about with the Maroons quite willing to play in transition, that attacking transition phase. Once they win the ball, they just need an outlet and a runner. He was that person just now. He was that runner, but not a natural goal scorer though, Dwight, and that's one of the things I even noticed in schoolboy football. Corner to the near post, it's broken up. Yeah, he had 16 assists, but as you mentioned, just 2 goals. Likes playing the provider. But when given the responsibility to take it for himself, it's not really him so far. Anyhow, here they are. Stevens, and he gets that wrong as well. He was looking for Clark on this occasion, and Clark arrived in the box. So, yeah, they're getting it wrong. But again, in transition, they're doing well. Yeah, the technique that's looking for the outside of the foot. And they should have just, for that curl ball to go around. It's not an easy technique, is it? Especially on a moving ball. Yeah. And sometimes they come into these matches not practicing it a lot. So, yeah. Bailed out was Anthony Bennett. And now his team driving forward into the area. But that was just not the pass from Phil and Lawrence. I think it wasn't Lawrence there. I think it was Daly. Sean. Yeah, Sean Daly. Yeah. Looking to find Krista J. Daly. But we see Daly now coming back central. So Harbour View just trying to rejinx, move the pieces around Bernard. Here they go again, Harbour View. And that strike from outside the area from Sean Daly. I think the pass from Lynch to Krista J, having turned, played for that wall pass or that 1-2 didn't come, and there you see Lynch going across, recognizing here's that, didn't see it on that replay, it was too far forward. But Daly just turned, got past 2 players, played the pass to Lynch, looking for that wall pass in front. Lynch needed to play it to his face, played it a little behind him. So again, just not clicking for Harbour View in that final third, and the strategy for the Maroons to play on the counter, again, not clicking for them as well in that final third. So both teams, just not the quality. The one time we've seen the quality in that final third in this game resulted in a goal from Elliott. Harbour View will try again. Talbot. Got him. And Talbot, first touch isn't good enough
from Staple, who is playing a lot further forward now.
Yeah, it really needs quality here, and those are the things that have to stick. Those are the passes, those are the controls that have to stick, because the Maroons, they're really defending in numbers, sitting in a low block. I think it's 2 blocks of 4. At times 5, 4, 1. That's what they look like in defense here, with Taylor sitting quite deep with the back 4. And just one player in Mark Lewis at times left once they're on the defense. That's the play from Daly. There we see, again, that's the pass from Lynch that was behind. Needed to go forward.
Well, needed to go forward if Daly wanted to go forward, but it looked like Daly wanted a shot. So actually the pass was good enough for him to shoot, but he didn't get the shot right at all.
No, he didn't get to Daly, you know. It ran behind him and went to Sean Daly.
Oh, it's Sean I was talking
about. It's Krista J that
you
he
were
was trying to find.
Krista J.
It's because the miss pass to Krista J went to Sean.
Which is why he took the shot one time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you, had he bent that into the top corner, we'd be saying, what a pass there from Lynch. First touch by Lawrence. He is quick, you know, Lawrence to the byline, and not a bad ball played across, but
needed a cut back a little more. But good defending there from, was it Ricketts?
Yeah, his Harbourview teammates late in terms of getting into the box. But Asani Ricketts, the 30-year-old, has been defending very well. He's had a top game so far, Ricketts.
Yeah, certainly.
Changes coming in for Harbourview as expected.
Number 7.
Sean Daly is going to be off, and Kimar Mullins will get his opportunity. Mullins, who scored in that 4-0 win against Falmouth in the round of 16. And Demar Rose is coming in as well. So it's actually Roger Smith who is on for Dyer, and not Kimar Mullins. So Smith is on, and so too Demar Rose. Here goes Christian J. Daly. Good change of pace, but he's not going to keep that one in.
No, good defending there, but just nudged out for the corner. And his deliveries have been flat. He'll need to really get this one over.
Confirmation of Demar Rose coming in for Sean Daly. Ball towards the near post, cleared by the Maroons, and it will be a throw. Not able to beat the first defender there, Daly. And the deliveries from the corners haven't been the best from a Harbourview perspective. Not good enough for the Stars of the East. Here they build again. Ball out wide to Staple. Staple, this was a better delivery. Chance here for Harbourview, and it's into the back of the net. Yes, it counts.
And Brackenridge.
Romain Brackenridge with the finish. And just like that, Harbourview with the equaliser. This time, that 8 out of 10 delivery was a 10 out of 10 by O'Shane Staple from the wide right area. Good pass here by Anglin to set it up. Staple with it, and Brackenridge doing his job here, towing it in, and it's 1-1.
It doesn't matter, it's coming, it looks crappy, but the delivery is what we've been talking about from wide area. The keeper as well was poor with his attempt to punch that one out, and really just flapped at it and just fell into the part of the Harbourview strikers. And it was Brackenridge who was playing striker there as a number 9, half his number on his back, but he got it right for sure, and Harbourview back into this one. And that's what the Maroons were trying to prevent by really looking for that goal on the counter. They had a lot of opportunities to do so, but we're back where we started at the beginning of this one. It's 1-1 on the day, 2-2 on aggregate.
Well, Romain Brackenridge hasn't scored in the league all season, but this is his second goal in the Lynk Cup. Scored in that 4-0 win as well against Falmouth. And now again, coming forward, Philip Lawrence with a strike, just wide of the upright. And Harbourview turning on the thrills here.
Yeah, you got the feeling that if they had gotten one goal, which they did now, they would be able to go up a gear. Not quite sure with the quality with the Maroons, whether or not they'll be able to do so. They will have to change now, or they look to just continue to conserve. I think it would be best served to be compact and make it difficult, because it was a mistake from the goalkeeper, Campbell, that really allow Harbourview to get back into this one. Good delivery from Staple, yes, but you expect your goalkeeper to deal with that well better. Got both hands to it, but didn't get the distance he would have wanted.
Yeah, the punch was too weak.
It was more like a flap in the end.
Campbell, yeah. Put it back into the business here, and Harbourview coming forward again and looking dangerous. Here they are, strike with the left foot. That isn't a good one, comes to Rose.
Yeah, it was hard in with a strike. He'll be relieved that Harbourview is back on level pegging here, because he was quite poor with his defending with that opening goal in this contest from the Maroons.
Show some strength on this occasion on the left-hand side. 2-2 on aggregate. If it remains this way, we go to extra time after 90 minutes. And if necessary, the dreaded penalty shootout, which
the Maroons have gone there before this season, so they will feel so against Umberland, winning 5-4 on penalties.
You mean in this season?
In this Lynk Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was in the round of 16.
Got the better of Umberland by 5-3 from the penalty spot. Talbot, the first man booked from Okita Nicholson.
Yeah, he's kept his card in his pocket up to this point.
Yellow card.
Harbourview.
I think Philip Lawrence is needing some attention here, and that's a challenge on Mark Lewis that earned Talbot the yellow card.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Lawrence had gotten away on the run with that chance, and I just wonder if he overextended himself with the right shot. This is the moment here. Good strike by Lawrence. You know, Campbell was in trouble, and it just, because of how he struck it, it was just swerving late. Yeah. And went wide in the end, but just wonder if he overextended himself. And yeah, is it a groin issue? I'm not sure.
We'll just have to keep an eye on him and see how he moves.
But Harbourview, a good spell this for them. All season, they just haven't had things easy against the Chapelton Maroons, even though they have found a way to win in the league. 1-0 win, 1-0 and 2-0 wins respectively. But in the Lynk Cup, they've conceded on both occasions against the Clarendon-based team, and they've had to come from behind. Here are the Maroons. Lewis doing well inside the area. Lewis with the hit.
Yeah, always under pressure, but did well to try and even get off a shot. Showing good strength as well. So free kick there for Harbourview. Daly looking to take it early, but Makita Nicholson not having it.
Lynk Cup All-Ireland knockout competition. And we're in the second leg of the quarter-final stage. The winner of this to play Portmore or Malines. And they'll be matching up tomorrow in their second leg quarter-final. And Portmore lead that one by 2-1.
Yeah. Still a chance. They're still open, that tie.
We're locked at 2-2 on aggregate, 1-1 on the day. And that's what they're playing for, the Lynk Cup. Lovely trophy there. And oh wow, how the Chapelton Maroons would love to have that for the first time. If Harbourview get it, it will be the 6th time they have lifted the All-Ireland trophy.
I think the boys are calling it the Big Ear Trophy.
The Big Ear.
Pretty much like the Champions League trophy.
They'll get a lot of money to go with that trophy as well. The winners win $1.6 million as we see the Maroons making another change. Brown is off and Big Javel Ellis is on.
So too Mark Lewis is off.
Yeah. Mark Lewis is unable to find another goal in this Lynk Cup. Mark Lewis. His day has been brought to an end.
And number 30, Mark Lewis. They were replaced by number
David Reed also brought on. So Reed on. the Glenmuir star in the Da Costa Cup this season. 12 goals, 16 assists for David Reid, but hasn't quite found his feet in the senior level of football yet. So both him and Javel Ellison. Harbourview, nice run here by Anglin. Just tripped on the ball, unfortunately for him, and it's out for a goal kick. Anglin did spend some time in the USL with Miami FC.
Yeah, and really a good player.
Joshua Anglin, yeah. There is a confirmation of Reid on for Lewis. Different kind of player, David Reid, to Mark Lewis. Mark Lewis, a striker, Reid, a winger. And you'll probably find Elliot will go in, yeah. That will be the change. David Reid would add some width. Just haven't seen him come alive. In fact, a lot of the schoolboys have struggled so far in the Premier League. It's not a very easy transition. And yeah. The strength of the adult male is something to contend with. And Elliot is down.
Well, Harbourview did make that change. I think Lynch is out, Kemar Mullins in.
There he is. Mullins on for Lynch. Mullins, another goal scorer from that 4-0 beating of Falmouth United.
So they have enough on the park here, Harbourview, to really go on and win it.
Dwight, you're from the parish of Falmouth. Tell me about Falmouth FC. Do you think they have what it takes to compete in the Premier League? For example, they did lose 4-0. But they might be an example of where football is at in Tier 2. Anyhow, Phil and Lawrence with the left foot. And it's blocked yet again by the Maroons. And then it comes free and well. That's into the back of the net. Just like that. Kemar, it's Roger Smith. Well, it came to him in a fortuitous manner. Roger Smith, and he hit it on the volley, a spanking effort. And it was too hot to handle for Jonathan Campbell, off his palms, off the upright, and into the back of the net. The Stars of the East have taken the lead in the second leg quarter-final.
Yeah, and the Maroons will be kicking themselves here with that shot coming from Phil and Lawrence, and just fall into Lynch to him there, and no pressure on him at all, no pressure on Smith. Was able to swivel and shoot. The keeper though had to have a stronger hand on that one, needed to parry that one around the post. Wasn't far away from him, not in the corner, and he was center of goal, moving the other way. Really was poor there. So the 2 goals conceded by the Maroons, you have to say goalkeeping was at fault on both those goals. The Harbourview team, they won't mind, they won't care how it comes, but certainly Campbell ought to have done better, because it was a strike that was pretty much central from Smith.
Yeah, a lot of power behind it from Smith. And
but
just
a strong hand from your goalkeeper. And you talk about power, you get a strong hand, you will deflect it. It was more like a cushion from him, which is why it fell inside the frame of the goal.
Yeah, if we look back at the replay, I just think right as he was about to make the save, he slipped. If you look at his feet, it looked like they slipped towards the left. And so he didn't get the power from his legs to aid the hands. But I agree with you that on 2 occasions, his handwork has been... Just look at it here.
Yeah,
he loses his footing. He loses his footing.
It was going across because the ball was going across. So maybe harsh on him then.
A bit unfortunate, but I do agree that his hand's not the strongest.
Well, we saw it on the cross coming in from Steve.
He needs to do some more bicep curls, maybe.
But you're looking at that, not that big.
Yeah.
More matching mine.
Yeah. Disappointing from Campbell. He will be disappointed with his 2 efforts, but to give him
the slip. Yeah, he bailed out with the slip.
Here's Taylor from the free kick, and that certainly needed more power behind it and accuracy
the grass
from the 34-year-old.
Not cutting it there.
Yeah, the grass is already well cut, so they don't need his help, Evan Taylor. But yeah,
but still a chance in it. It's only a goal in it yet still. But you just got the feeling that Harbourview had the ability, based on quality and just the way they were playing, to up it a little more. Not quite sure that we were going to be able to get that from the Maroons.
Yeah, disappointing from the Maroons' perspective. As I said, it was a good strike for sure. By
central though.
Yeah, by Smith. But had there not been a slip, you would have expected him to execute that save. Very unfortunate that he had that
nonetheless,
slip, but
with
even
the
the
slip,
hands,
he got both hands on it,
got
still
both
with the
hands.
slip. So maybe you'd expect it, just a firmer hand. But how they ruined the Maroons, the chances they got earlier.
Well, here they go. Can they create another? Down the left-hand side. Not a bad ball into the area, but it's ahead of Elliott, and it will be out for a goal kick.
Yeah, good curl on it, but
Shane
Elliott
Watson
wasn't
with the delivery.
arriving, I guess, in time for that one. But you're talking about the missed earlier, the chances earlier. One fell to Kevin Clark when he had green pastures in front of him and just decided to pull the handbrake up and didn't progress. And Malik Stevens as well, looking to pick out Clark as well and skew the pass. So they've had their look-ins in the second half. They did look the brighter of the two teams and were really defending stoutly until that chance presented to them by Campbell in goal.
Harbourview, the pedigree team, and coming forward now, putting the pressure on the Chapelton Maroons, and they now have a 3-2 lead on aggregate. Harbourview, the stars of these, 5-time champions of the All-Ireland knockout competition. No team has won it more than them, and I was telling you from the start, Ludlow Bernard just knows how to get results in knockout competitions. He's a tactician.
Well, he doesn't have this result in the bag yet.
Not yet, but,
but he's on his way, you're right.
He has 1 foot in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Here the Maroons come again to the byline. Malik Stevens is quick. Stevens pulls it back to Ellis. Big Javel Ellis. Good skill. Ellis! Well, again, the Maroons can't hit the target. Good skill by Javel Ellis onto the left foot, but can't put it on the right side of the post.
Yeah, and Talbot was really poor with his defensive work. They won it from Malik Stevens and then gave it back to him literally. And yeah, Ellis here, yeah, he had the time, just dragged it wide, hit the target. He scores because he's going for the far post. And Bennett was beaten all ends up. Was at the near post, couldn't do anything about it had it been on target.
Bennett was exposed, and Ellis had the right idea to go for the far corner, but needed more accuracy.
Probably more time than he would have liked. Ellis there, really.
Stuart seeing the happier side of things, but his team have produced, well, his team have created opportunities, but unfortunately for him, they haven't taken a high percentage of them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, summing it up, Chris. They really have had chances in this game, the Maroons. Harbourview have not been watertight at the back.
Not airtight either.
No. Just not tight at all. But yeah, and we saw that with the display from Talbot, gifting the ball to Malik Stevens.
Well done, Shane Watson. It comes to Ellis again. Down the side, good ball into the air. This time it's well defended by Talbot. Strong defending. Two number 17s coming together. And Harbourview the chance to clear. I'm sure Lola Bernard wouldn't want his team to just sit back here and try and absorb pressure. He would want Harbourview to get another goal. Another goal here for Harbourview, and you think that would hit the stuffing out of the Maroons, especially considering they've had so many chances. And the kind of defeats they have suffered in the league. You know, when you tend to go down like that, the shoulders drop.
And you can't remember them scoring 3 in the season so far. On too many occasions, if any.
Yeah, they've only scored 9 goals in the entire season.
Exactly, so they wouldn't have scored 3 on any one occasion, I think there. I don't remember it. You could correct me, but yeah, that would be asking too much of them.
They did find 2 though against Humber Lion. I mean, 2 goals here for them, and they retake the lead though.
Yeah.
But you mean if Harbourview were to get another one?
Yeah,
but
I was talking on the fact if they were to get the other one, yeah.
2 goals would still carry them though to extra time. So on that side of things, because there's no away goal rule.
No
so
away goal
obviously,
rule,
right, that's been done away with. So 2 goals for them, and in that situation they'll still be in it. But anyhow.
Yeah, Stevens there just trying to find Ellis, just too short or too low with the pass. And time running out for the Maroons.
Yeah. So only 3 times this season the Maroons have managed to score 2 goals, twice in the league and once against Humber Lions. So you're right, they haven't scored 3 goals at all.
Yeah, so that would have been too much for them, you feel. They're mounting
this
too
season.
high.
Yeah. They did have a 2-0 win against Tivoli Gardens. That was one of them. And then a 3-2 loss at the hands of Waterhouse in March.
Yeah.
Apart from that, then a 2-all draw, of course, with the Humber Lions. So 3 times they've managed 2, never managed 3.
Well, they need to
at the top flight.
Well, they'll feel then have a little hope that it could get 2 in this one.
Yeah, but they have looked a lot better in the Lynk Cup. So from that perspective, they're outdoing themselves. So if they were to find 2 more, I would say, well, wasn't expected, but based on their Lynk Cup performances, okay.
Yeah.
You know, they look better. Anyhow, here's Harbourview driving forward into the wide area, and that's deflected. And Odalyn Harding putting in the legs down that left flank.
Been better this second half, Harding, and shown good character, because he would have gone into the halftime knowing that he wasn't strong enough or good enough in that duel with Elliott that resulted in the opening goal in this contest.
Yeah, was weak in his challenge against Aaron Elliott. Bounced off of the ball, and Elliott slotted away. That seems like a long time ago, and we've seen 2 goals since, both from the men in blue. Ludlow Bernard with words to Garth Stewart, who is about to come on. Usually employed nowadays as a centre forward, Stewart, with his height.
Yeah.
Haven't really seen goals from in that position though, but he does add that aerial prowess.
Yeah, and Daly comes out for Stewart to come in, it would appear. The goal scorer for the Maroons are out too, and Alex Gale comes in for Elliott.
So Gale in. Alex Gale did score in that 2-all draw with Humber Lion.
Yeah, got their second goal in that one. Mark Lewis the first. So yeah, just looking to see if they can get some goal here. Malik Stevens comes out as well. And Ryan Smith comes in for Stevens. So the cards being thrown here by both camps. One looking to close it out, the other looking to get back in it.
Corner for Harbourview. Well punched on this occasion by Campbell. That was much stronger. Comes to Demar Rose. Rose, good skill inside here. Rose with a strike. Just past the far upright. And out for a goal kick. Good move by Demar Rose.
Yeah, it was Mullins and Stewart at the back post there trying to get on to the end of it.
Confirmation of Garth Stewart coming on for Krista J. Daly. Only really one highlight moment for Daly when he drove across from the right hand side and let fly with the left foot, which was just wide, but didn't see more plays like that from Daly. He was kept quiet by the Maroons. Credit to them.
Yeah,
we know his ball handling skills. Malik Stevens, another Trelawney man, is off.
Yep.
And Ryan Smith brought on for him.
We see again now, this is a shift from the Maroons again. Kevin Clark being put inside in attacking midfield role.
Harbourview bouncing it around in here. 18-yard here. Well, Bennett not the greatest touch.
And normally that's his weakness, Bennett.
Oh, that's a foul.
The advantage allowed.
Yeah. Well, that was cheeky from Demar Rose and gives it away.
It was as if Reed was passing it to himself.
Throw into the Maroons. Can they get back into this one? They led after 33 minutes from an Arian Elliott finish. But since then, it's been Harbourview, Brackenridge after 67 and Roger Smith after 75. And Harbourview leading 2 goals by 2 goals to 1, 3-2 aggregate. And are on their way to the semi-finals unless the Maroons can produce another goal at least.
Yeah, Kevin Clark here looking to see if he can produce a delivery here that.
Clark. Bennett. Well, that was weak handling by Bennett.
Yeah, he came, wasn't sure there.
He's got to do better there, Anthony Bennett, and it
Got
will
both
be a
hands
corner.
on it as well.
Yeah, just let it go, and luckily for him, his captain Brackenridge was helping out.
Yeah, he has had a good game, Brackenridge.
Still a teenager, Anthony Bennett. They played short into the substitute Gale. Gale dink into the area, and away by Harbourview. And yeah, then a strike which is deflected by a Maroon. Chavel Ellis, was it? No, it was Shane Watson with the header wide, and it will be a free kick, goal kick to Harbourview. Lynk Cup Quarter-Final, second leg action here at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. And this Lynk Cup really heating up. It will be another corner for the Chapelton Maroons.
Yeah, Harbourview just making life difficult for themselves.
Big prizes in store in the Lynk Cup. Johnny Talbot there with the tackle.
Yeah, he has not had the best of games, Talbot.
Yeah. And Gale, the substitute, is down. Alex Gale. We have 3 goal scorers in this one. Do remember, each goal scorer will receive a $5,000 cash prize for their goal. Smith, Brackenridge and Elliott.
I wonder if they have a pool where they just pull it in there.
They go short with the corner yet again to Ellis. Well,
and then long.
It's a high and deep cross, but Gar Stewart is there. Nice pass to Taylor. Oh, that's good defending there by Anglin. Anglin has been good in the middle of the park. Anglin actually probably arguably been the best player for Harbourview. Here goes Smith. And he was looking for Mullins, but it's broken up. Here is Anglin. He's controlled the middle of the park pretty well, Anglin.
I think both him and Brackenridge has been really good for Harbourview down the spine.
Here's a strike from outside the area. Well, what was that from Jonathan Campbell?
So I guess we can forget about just the slipper low that caused him not to have a firm hand. Just not safe hands today from Campbell.
Has a look at his equipment, the gloves, as if they were to blame. Just didn't get the hands in the right position. Luckily for him, players back to help him out. Now they come forward, the Maroons. That's a pass that won't find its target.
The 2 players not communicating. It was Taylor there.
Here goes Mullins. Mullins looking for Lawrence. His footwork is better, Campbell, and that's a nice pass to Clark.
3 minutes for the Maroons to try and get back in it, and 3 minutes for Harbourview to move on to the semi-finals.
It's slipping away for the Maroons. Already been relegated from the league.
And will be relegated from the Lynk Cup.
Yeah, well, trying to make a big statement. They will be knocked out if they can't find a goal in these 3 minutes. And that is a hard challenge. Wow. David Reed.
And I was saying Talbot not having the best of days. This is his second yellow card. He gets the red card. So he will miss the semi-finals if Harbourview gets there.
That was a hard challenge on David Reed, and everybody has rushed on.
Yeah,
more worried about him.
Let's just have a look here.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a tough challenge. No use of the arm or elbow from Talbot, but a head face-to-face collision. Ooh, that's a tough collision there. A bit wild from Talbot. He accepts his second yellow and he's off. But the worry is for David Reed. We hope he's okay, the schoolboy. I didn't like when I saw them spin him around like that, considering it's a head injury.
Yeah.
You just, especially because the neck exposed like that, you just have to be careful there. But let's hope he's okay. There are some Harbourview players around, including the captain of Harbourview, Brackenridge,
which has had a good game, and you're talking about players that stood out in this one.
Is that Evan Taylor, who is down there? Both captains are there. We can't see much. The stretcher is being brought, and we hope that where there is some movement from David Reed. And
but Taylor having in his lap there, just holding on to him.
And it was a face-to-face collision, so chances are the soft part of the eye and so on exposed. You just wonder if there was a cut or something.
I don't think it's really good for him at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and stabilize the neck as well, which goes to what you were saying in terms of how
I was
they
worried
just
about
move
that.
him.
How they just flipped him so quickly, and I'm saying if the neck was injured, then
they could just do further damage to it.
Correct.
But yeah, they're going to try and put that.
Taylor giving him the support there from the back, and there is Brackenridge trying to support the shoulders.
Yeah.
Never like to see these
not
kind
at all.
of things.
And he had all eyes for the ball, Reed, so not expecting as well.
Yeah, Talbot as well. To give Talbot credit, it wasn't malicious.
No, you can't.
He was
say
over
that.
aggressive,
Yes.
but he was also coming in for the ball. I mean, if had he known, he would never go face to face like that, because he could have injured himself. In fact,
as well. Yeah,
he's so tough, Johnny Talbot.
I guess it's just the aggression, maybe the force at which he went with, which is why he got the second yellow.
Yeah, because Talbot's head made a full collision, but yet he was fine. He smiled and then just walked off at Johnny Talbot. I mean, yeah, but the youngster. Yeah, there is a Captain Brackenridge. As you were saying, Dwight, he's certainly one of the best players. It's between the two best players on the park, especially if the result remains the same for me.
Anglin and Brackenridge.
Anglin and Brackenridge. I think Joshua Anglin in the middle of the park was excellent. He was helping to drive the play forward, but yet some telling interceptions within the middle.
And Shield in the back four as well.
Yeah. Brackenridge had the goal. And he's defended okay, but I you know why I like
think Anglin is at the top of the pile, I think. Because both going forward and defending, he's the one shielding and in front of Brackenridge, really trying to break up play as well.
And Brackenridge, I just thought from a Maroonics perspective that they had way too many opportunities in the 18-yard area because of the lack of positional display of Brackenridge and company as centre-backs.
He was caught up field too when the goal for the Maroons, when Elliott, it was only Harding who was on that recovery run.
We spoke about him and Talbot being out of position.
So I guess
Anglin
would get the nod
especially if
there.
the result remains the same.
And especially when Harbour View took the lead, how he handled himself inside there.
Yeah.
And had a few chances himself as well.
Well, players restarted. David Reed has been stretchered off.
And we're, 6 minutes into stoppage time?
There'll be more here. Evan Taylor will take the free kick. Can Chapelton find something here and take it into extra time? Taylor into the area. Cleared by Harbour View. Back to Taylor. It's not out of harm's way yet for Harbour View. Comes to Watson. Watson to Ricketts.
Playing more like a defender there, Ricketts. Just clearing his lines. Cleared everything.
Ricketts, who arguably has been the best player on the park for the Chapelton Maroons today. Just couldn't get over that.
I guess it just fell to the wrong player that time.
Yeah,
they would have preferred it fall into a goal scorer in this dying moments of the game. Needed a little bit more composure. Had the time. Well, it was rushed in. Was Staple coming in, but had some more time, and the technique was more of a defending type with clearing.
Osani Ricketts was the man who gave Chapelton the lead in the first leg. And onside, is he? No. Mullins, he's off. Side. And Harbour View seconds away, you think, at this point from the semi-finals. 5-time champions of the All-Ireland Knockout, Harbour View. And they're about to book their place in the semi-final of the Lynk Cup.
Now that was poor. That was poor from Ricketts there. But I guess it's fallen to script because, like I was saying, Harbour View getting a goal, or they were able to, change and change gear. I think the Maroons were given the best they got, or they have, in that first half and pretty much the beginning of the second half.
The 3 minutes has elapsed. We're actually into the 8th minute of added time. We did lose a lot of time because of the injury to David Reed. Here go Harbour View. And offside. That's the end of it. Okita Nicholson blows his whistle, and Harbourview are through to the semi-finals of the Lynk Cup. They defeat the Chapelton Maroons by 2-1 on the day, 3-2 on aggregate. And yeah, a solid performance. Brackenridge with the first goal, and then the winner by Roger Smith in the 75th minute, after Aaron Elliott had given the Chapelton Maroons the lead after 33. Joshua Anglin there, still a lot to say to Okita Nicholson. He has been the best player on the park for Harbourview, and the Stars of the East have got the job done. Roger Smith there with the winner. After 90 minutes, it's Harbourview 2, the Chapelton Maroons 1. Harbourview are in the semi-finals of the Lynk Cup. Full match highlights. Okita Nicholson, the man with the whistle. Harbourview in their full blue coming forward. Krista J. Daly, and based on his skills and ability, you would expect him to make a better contact there with the left foot. Hard into the ground, and the Maroons were able to clear their lines. Coming forward again, O'Shane Staple with the strike. And not good handling there by Jonathan Campbell. He didn't have a good day between the sticks for the Maroons. His handling not the best. This time the strike was over the bar and didn't threaten his goal. That came from Sean Daly. Javier Lynch with a strike inside the area. Lucky defended there by Rashawn Rich, and it nearly came off Anglin and into the back of the net. Luckily for Campbell, straight to him. Then this moment for the Maroons. Out of position were Harbourview. Aaron Elliott showing the strength of Odellin Harding, and then placing it past the hapless Anthony Bennett between the sticks for Harbourview. 1-0 after 33 minutes. Aaron Elliott, his first in the Lynk Cup and his third of the season in all competitions. And worthy underdogs at this point, going to find the win. It wasn't to be. Krista J. Daly driving across, then the left-footed attempt. We didn't see much from the midfield maestro for Harbourview, but they continue to come forward. O'Shane Staples still in the first half here, putting a telling ball into the area. Campbell was beaten, but Brackenridge couldn't find the header. And then this attempt, Lynch, good touch here, and then the strike, which was deflected and out for a corner. Second half now, O'Shane Staple with some disappointing deliveries into the box before this, but this one very accurate and should have found the back of the net. The header from Sean Daly, you've got to be hitting the target there, Sean, and that was over the bar, and attempt missed. Yeah, then a header at the other end for Aaron Elliott. Maybe should have put that on target and added a second. Missed chances for the Chapelton Maroons, and O'Shane Staple with another brilliant delivery. The handling wasn't good at all from Jonathan Campbell, and Brackenridge with the finish. There is the ball from Staple. I'm not sure what Campbell was doing there. Put it back into the business area, and very attentive at the attacking end of things was the captain Brackenridge, to add his second in the Lynk Cup this season. Had one against Falmouth United. That came after 67 minutes today, and it was 1-1. Right after that, Phelan Lawrence with a strike just wide, and Harbourview continued to come forward. Lawrence again deflected on this occasion, then working back for it. It would come to Roger Smith, who a swivel and a volley with a right foot would beat Jonathan Campbell, and Campbell will be disappointed with the attempt. Good strike here, Roger Smith, but it was in the centre of the goal, and Campbell slipping just before and unable to get his hands behind the ball enough onto the upright and into the back of the net for 2-1 after 75 minutes. Continuing to come forward, Javel Ellis, good skill here, aiming for the back post and couldn't find the target. How many times have we said that for the Chapelton Maroons here today? Just unable to put it on target, and the score remained 2-1. Another chance coming in for Harbourview. Demar Rose driving into the area with a strike just past the upright there from Rose. Campbell was in trouble again. And then this moment, Talbot picking up his second yellow card. Harbourview reduced to 10, and David Reed out cold Second yellow, Talbot off, and he will miss the semi-final. So that was it. After 90 minutes, Harbourview 2 to Chapelton Maroons 1. 11 shots, just 1 on target for the Maroons, and that tells the story for them, just not enough. 6 on target from 18 for Harbourview, and they produced 2 goals. Some 18 fouls, we've seen 3 yellow cards, and the 1 red card eventually to Ajani Talbot for that tackle on David Reed. We hope he's okay. 4 offsides for Harbourview, just 1 for the Chapelton Maroons. 5 corners each. Majority of the possession for the Stars from the East. And after 90 minutes, Harbourview, they're into the semi-finals. They've defeated the Chapelton Maroons by 2 goals to 1. Our man of the match is with Dwight Jeremiah, and it's none other than Deshaun Anglin.
Deshaun, good all-round game from you, going forward, linking the play and defensively. How difficult was it for you, though, in the first half, the way that Chapelton Maroon played?
Well, it was very difficult because we never organized in the first half. The midfield was empty. You can see that in the midfield the goal breakdown into. So you can see that it was weak in the midfield in the first half, but in the second half, we go in the second half, we coach tell us that we have to go out there and do the hard work. So we come out there and put in our hard work. So we got the 3 points and we give thanks for it.
Yeah, man, you stood tall in a midfield that wasn't organized. But how does it feel to be in the semi-final of the Lynk Cup?
Well, it's a good feeling being at the semi-final in the Lynk Cup. We don't have enough of our players, so we have to just give our best shot that we can do.
Well, that's a good performance from you, Anglin. All the best in the semi-finals and in the Premier League. All right.
Welcome.
All right. So there we have it, man of the match. Deshaun Anglin really putting in a good performance. He spoke about the difficulties he had posed by Chapelton Maroons, and this man here, coach, or the assistant coach. Coach, you really put on a good show in that first half, and you were resolute when you came back out. You wanted to get that go-ahead goal, but must have been disappointed in the way you conceded that equalizer.
Very disappointed. I thought we worked hard enough to keep that 1 goal that we had, you know, but we always make some silly mistakes sometimes, and they always cost us.
Even though you would have given up that goal in a soft way, second half you did have a few moments in transition playing on the counter that you didn't really make use of as well.
Bad decision, haunted us for a long while now. Bad decision, and that's what happened today.
It still was a decent performance in this Lynk Cup. What is it now for you for the rest of the season?
Well, we're going to honor the fixtures, you know, and whatever happened at the end of the season, we evaluate ourselves and so we go from there.
All right, let's wish you all the best for the rest that you have to go.
Yeah, man, thanks, man.
So it was a decent showing from the Maroons today, and they crash out of the Lynk Cup, but in terms of their performance today, it's not really one that they would walk away with their heads down. They could hold their heads high because they did make it difficult for your team today, Coach Bernard.
Difficult it was indeed, you know, and sometimes it is very difficult to really lift up and motivate the players when they're playing against a lowly ranked team, because I was usually very boisterous. I was unusually boisterous before the game, trying to pump them up, but that didn't seem to work. I think what really worked for us today was the changes that we made. Had a little bit more bite, impetus, and very attacking. It was risky because there were all attacking players at that place on the field, and I took off one of our better playing players in Dyer.
Yeah, we could see that. I think before you sort of resisted going to your bench, you try and move the puzzles around on the park, but wasn't getting the results you wanted.
Not getting the result, and of course there's something out there that just that little extra to go into 50-50s to win the individual battles in terms of going forward. My players have to understand that in order to win games like these, because it doesn't matter who you're playing against, you really have to be extremely competitive.
It's the semi-final of the Lynk Cup. You do well at schoolboy football in terms of knockout. How does it feel now to be in that Lynk Cup and just probably a game or two away?
Yes, I'm in a familiar place, you know,
Yes.
and these games going to be very interesting. What was pleasing for me today is just seeing the depth of the squad, and that being able to call upon players now that Talbot will be out for the next game. Surely our captain will be back.
Well, all the best in the semi-final.
Thank you very much.
There you have it.
Yeah, Harbourview getting the better of the Chapelton Maroons by 2-1. The Stars of the East, the 5-time winners of the All-Ireland Knockout, are through to yet another semi-final here in the Lynk Cup 2023. The semi-finals will be two-legged, and we look forward to it as well. Harbourview have already booked their place, and we have three more quarter-finals to be decided. And this is our first match. Harbourview defeating the Chapelton Maroons by 2-1.